Amazing. So, I mean, we're kind of approaching the end now, but I was just curious to know because you've spoken to lots of different people, and it's probably one of those questions that, oh, there's so many to answer. But has there been sort of like anybody with any of your research speaking to anybody that the story was sort of so compelling by even just the look in their eyes? Because I'm also into the paranormal, so and you get this look in some people's eyes that they're just not faking it. They've really experienced something quite unusual. Is there anything that springs like to mind in the last 5 minutes that we have here?
Oh gosh, yeah, the most dramatic that I can think of. So you referenced a series I used to be on called Monster Quest. In 2009, they sent me to Mexico to investigate accounts of a Mothman type creature. I'm sure your listeners have heard of the Mothman. I don't know if it's a true cryptid, but it's a winged humanoid creature that's been reported in West Virginia. And I've also interviewed eyewitnesses from elsewhere, but the most compelling eyewitness that I've interviewed was a police officer in Mexico named Leonardo Samaniego, who in June of 2004, in the middle of the night, was on patrol and claims that this giant, well, I'd say giant, but this winged witch is what he called her, a bruja, a witch with giant black lidless eyes and brown skin, flew through the air and attacked his police car and was like clawing at him through the windshield. And he basically, it was too much. He couldn't handle it and he blacked out. And he was discovered by EMT, ambulance drivers, and fellow police officers a short while later. But anyways, I got to interview him for this particular episode. And this is a pretty tough guy. I mean, he's still on the police force. He works in a really tough neighborhood in southern Monterrey, Mexico, called Guadalupe. And I mean, he was like, and granted, he doesn't speak English, so we had a translator. But just the emotions that he was expressing, and I mean, he broke down. He was weeping, saying that he still had nightmares about this creature. The eyes, he could still see these big eyes, and this guy definitely experienced something. I mean, it really shook the foundation of his reality. And that was probably of all, I've interviewed a lot of very credible eyewitnesses through the years, people that were very convincing. But this guy, you could see the emotional trauma, the PTSD that he had basically experienced as a result of this encounter. So that was pretty chilling.
Wow.